Kofa, G.R.O.W.T.H podcast. Wake your ugly ass up. Morning motivation. You can have the pain of discipline or the pain of regrets. Y'all see I'm driving. I'm not going to be on here long. Again, man, of my word, every day in May challenge. So I'm going live early today because the rest of the focus is going to be on the growth family outside of YouTube for today. Again, I'm headed to Alabama for a funeral. Again, I'm driving, so I'm be back and forth between the cameras. But yeah, man, just wanted to hop on here real quick and talk about discipline. First, shout out to the replay gang, because I see most of y'all are probably just rolling over from last night. Y'all used to be going live during the evenings. You're used to probably a morning motivation. Be sticking my head in the door, around 9 o'clock or whatnot, like I normally do. So this is going to be the first live morning motivation. So hit that like button. New subscribers, new viewers. For the new viewers, if I got to earn your subscription, like I've been saying, just hit the like button for me. Help me out with the algorithm. For the new subscribers, thank you for giving me an opportunity to keep bringing this information to you. I like to have general life advice just about manhood. This is a men-centric channel. The ladies are welcome, but while I talk about the women, I'm talking to the men. This morning in particular, I'm just going to focus on brothers. You can live with the pain of discipline, or you can have the pain of regret. I need brothers to start doing better for themselves. A lot of times we find ourselves working ourselves down to a damn nub for everybody else. The job, the kids, taking care of families, even each other as friends. And again, I use the term friends loosely, right? So we end up working ourselves down to the nub and we forget the main things we should be doing. Again, do the hard right versus the easy wrong. You want to start doing the things that are that look like they're difficult, or like I say, do the boring shit, the stuff that doesn't get a crowd, the stuff that doesn't get likes, the stuff that doesn't get any type of attention or accolades. That's the stuff that's going to build you. When you're doing that type of work, use school for instance. When you're studying, nobody sees that. You're by yourself, maybe with a small group, in your room, in the library, in some corner, headphones on, you're focused. You're focused on the task at hand. And what you're doing you're studying then, you're not going to get a grade for studying. You get the grade after the test. You get a grade at the end of the school year or whatever, quarter, whatever you're going on. You know what I'm talking about. You get the grade at the end. After the boring shit, the studying has been done. That's when you get the grade. So when you're doing the boring stuff, nobody's around you. Until you get that specific grade you want, then people ask you, how did you study? How did you do it? How'd you get this grade? Of course, A, B, something positive. When you succeed, people start asking you, how? Then when you start telling them the steps you go through, watch how those people react, right? A lot of those people gonna react like, oh, I ain't doing that. A lot of people don't want to do the boring shit. Those end up usually being average day-to-day people. And when I say average, I mean through every walk of life. Because the average day-to-day person is going to work, they're going to take care of their family, but they're usually exceptional in some type of area. You have a lot of people with a lot of hidden talent, right? But back to the discipline. If they would have used that had been a little bit more disciplined on that hidden talent, that may have been what they became known for. But we'll never know, because the average person, the stuff that it takes to get you to that next level, the average minded person doesn't want to do. I'm start saying that, the average minded person, because I consider myself to be an average, slightly above average guy, but I know I'm thinking a little bit further ahead. Shout out to everybody coming in. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me, please. I'm on the road, so again, my focus is kind of watching traffic and talking to y'all, but I did want to go live real quick and just talk about the discipline again. So do the boring stuff, brothers. I promise you it's going to yield results. It's not going to be tomorrow. It may not be for a year, but do the boring stuff. When I first started here on YouTube over a year ago, this was February last year, right? So it's been slightly over a year. February last year, it was a lot of videos I had done on Facebook, and I just dropped them here on YouTube. Well, after that first month or two, I didn't have any more material. I had to start going to do the research, the shit that you guys don't see. I had to go do the boring shit. I had to listen to other content creators' content to make sure I wasn't even coming off as if I was copying or stealing from them. That's why it took me forever to really start doing, it took me over a year to really start doing reactions. For those of y'all that have been kind of rocking with me from the beginning, because I didn't want to take other people's content. But the thing I found out about reactions, they're just examples. It's just, you know, examples that I can use and expound on. Because I was so focused on doing the boring stuff, so to speak. I was doing my research. I'm looking at these different situations, having real life conversations with coworkers, family, friends, strangers even. Having these conversations about relationships and how black men deal with them and how we deal with not being in a relationship. The lack of care that we're giving ourselves as men in general. Again, y'all see I'm a black dude. So if you're not of that hue, it's okay. You can stay as well, because I'm talking to all men. But so many times we leave ourselves out, or we put ourselves on the back burner. Then we end up mad at other people because they didn't reciprocate the love that we gave them, right? So I had to step out of that zone, not just for YouTube's sake, but in my personal life, which is what kept me going on YouTube. Then I started meeting the right people. My content started getting better, started looking a little bit cleaner, different things like that. But even when I was being introduced to these new concepts and new equipment and things in YouTube, I had to do the boring shit. I had to learn that stuff. Again, the stuff that you guys don't see on the back end. Like, again, I'm not sure who's in here, but I was issued a challenge to go live every day in May. I didn't just want to throw out some bullshit content, because one of my other content creator friends in Atlanta issued the challenge, and he said it jokingly, but I was like, you know what? I can do that. I'm on this push to 1,000 subscribers. Let me try it. And then recently of this week, people were like, hey, you've been putting out quality content. Like, we knew you were going to do the challenge, but we just thought you were just going to click on live and just, you know, kind of talk to us real quick. Kind of like I'm doing now, just throw one out there and be off. Like, no, I've been putting out quality content. I've been going I think the longest live I've done so far was 3 hours. And a lot of them I've been cutting short because it's the NBA playoffs, and I am a basketball fanatic. Even though I love this YouTube space, I'm a basketball fanatic, so I've been watching the games at night. But again, it goes back to doing the boring stuff. So I started the YouTube. I'm gonna walk this timeline for y'all real quick. Again, I'm not gonna be on here too much longer because I'm headed to a funeral for those that just stopped in. But I'm gonna walk this timeline. I started in February, had to do the little bit of things like that. I ended up sharing a story about a guy who deleted his baby mama and his ex-wife because he just had a mental break, because both of them were playing games with the kids, and they were playing games with his kids for like 3 years. And he finally snapped, deleted both of them. And I talked about the mental anguish that so many men go through of dying a death every day because they can't see their children, or because of embarrassment, or because not being able to get over the hump. Whatever your respective issue is, sometimes it's so ingrained in you, brothers feel like they're dying a death every day. It's like that movie Groundhog's Day. You reliving the same day every day. You're not moving forward. And like I said a couple of days ago, taking a loss, we've already been built for that a lot of times as men, because we play sports, even playing around as kids. We know how to take a loss as men. We know how to get back out there and keep on fighting. One thing that we do not do well as men is stay stagnant. When brothers don't see their way out, hey, I achieved this, and this is as good as it's gonna get, that's when you start to notice men unraveling. It's not the loss, it's the stagnation, if that's a word. When we're here and we can't see ourselves, you can see the next step, but you can't get there. That's when you find guys starting to drink, drug, oversex, let their relationships get to them, different things like that, and they just start to crumble. is men, because they can't get over the hump. And then by the time they're done crumbling, now they're down here. So that's why I talk about doing the boring stuff. You're going to have to start telling your friends no, start telling these women no. You're going to even have to start telling your kids no for some of us, right? So again, let me keep the story going. So I did that video, and Dr. T.S. Johnson shared it. That helped me get some more subscribers, right? Because Dr. T.S. Johnson is a way bigger channel than me. He does, greater content than I do, especially at that time. So that brought some more people to me. Then I just kept making the content, and most of it was mainly about relationships and how dudes need to deal with these women. However, I've always said, I talk about women, I'm talking to men. I need the men to make better decisions and choices in the women that we deal with. So that kept growing. Then I started expounding on men just getting better, period. Kind of like I'm talking now with general life advice. I've always been a good conversationalist, always been a good listener from what a lot of people told me. So that went on. A couple of months later, I met Broker Traditions and Mind Games Uncut. Y'all follow them here on YouTube. Again, that's Broker Traditions and Mind Games Uncut. I met those two brothers in a cigar bar. Mind Games Uncut introduced me to Broker Traditions. We started having a conversation from there, and then we talked about doing live together. And I think that's when I first hopped on Broker Traditions live. I can't even remember what we talked about. But hold on, had a text come through. I can't even remember what we talked about. But that started from there. That was like October. The next month is when I believe Tory Lanez got sentenced, and Gervonta Davis got into the issue with his baby mama. So after that happened, I did a video on how I almost Tory Lanez and Gervonta Davis myself. Matter of fact, I did 2 videos about a domestic violence situation I had back in my 20s, and how I lost my emotions, and I almost deleted my girlfriend at the time. That's a whole story. Both of the videos are on here. I walk through the videos, I walk through the situations, and I got pictures. I'm not just some woman beater. Never put my hands on a woman before that or after, but in that moment, at 26 years old, a hothead that had reached his limit, I lost it, and my whole life could have been over just like that. So that's another reason why I kept doing this content, to show and share with brothers, especially younger guys. I already been there. I done been your age. You ain't been mine. So those of y'all that are going to share this with the younger cats, it's a fucking reason. Like I said, let them know we can tell them what to do and how to move, not on no son shit, but because I fucking survived. I done already did that shit. I've seen somebody else do it, and guess what? They didn't make it. By the grace of God, I'm here, or whoever the respective elder is. Share this information with those younger guys. So I did those 2 videos. Once again, salute to Dr. T.S. Johnson. He shared them again because his content is more policy-based, more law-based, and from academia. Those are the type of that's the type of content that he's producing as far as concerns black men. And we get into the emotional and the relationship stuff and how things are carried out as well. But he shared those videos again. My viewership went up again, so salute to that brother. Then I had other people started sharing it, and then they started sharing their individual stories as well. Kind of caught me off guard. And then the consistency, I started pumping out more and more content. January and February, I kind of took off. One of my personal mentors died unexpectedly from cancer. We didn't know he had it. He kind of kept it to himself. By the time me and one of my friends that he was also a mentor of, by the time we found out 2 weeks later, he was gone. So that fucked me up at the beginning of January. Like it damn near, it really, really hurt. Because he was just at my house a couple of months before that, again, mentoring us, giving us shots at alphas because those are dudes that took shots at me, and it kind of fucked me up before when I was younger, and I had to realize I'm more of a Sigma tree. I'm more tiger than I am lion. It is what it is. Take it how you want to. Feel like you're an alpha. That's great, but be a solid ass alpha. Because a lot of dudes claiming that they alphas in a pack. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Alpha is one. You're the lead. So all these guys getting on these panels together, talking about each and every one of them is a fucking alpha. You're an alpha in your own right, in your own space. When you're on those fucking panels, nigga, you're not an alpha. You gotta decide who is the alpha. Whose panel are you on? Who's actually running the show? And the reason why I say that is because guys take that type of mentality from YouTube and go back into the real world. Guys take that attitude from the real world and bring that shit to YouTube. If you're an alpha, you're the leader. You're the one. That's who you do. That's who everybody goes to, right? That's who you fucking build off of. That's who you follow. But a lot of these cats don't understand that shit, right? So if you can't stand on your own as a man, how are you even a true alpha? That's why I gravitated to more the Sigma traits and I started looking at myself. But again, you gotta have some type of damn discipline about yourself to be either. I'm just using the YouTube talking points. Then when you put the phone down, step outside of YouTube. When you go back to your real life, how are you conducting yourself? How are you building up each other? all your homework early, getting it done. Now you got longer to play. But there's so many kids that'll come home when parents allow it. They'll come home, not do their homework, go outside and play, and then you wonder why their grades look like they look. It's the same thing in adulthood. Did you do the work to free up your time to actually be able to go enjoy the money that you made? Because it doesn't make sense for you to keep taking your ass to work and you're not enjoying the money that you're making, no matter how little. Grind that shit out for a month, and guess what? Have a great fucking weekend the next month instead of going out every weekend that you're getting paid or every other weekend that you're getting paid. You're just blowing the money. Stack it up to the point that when you do go spend or splurge on yourself, you don't miss it. Your bills are paid and you have some more put to the side. But people don't do that. Get it and just start shelling it out. And then wonder why you're stagnant again. Which again is what kills a lot of men. It's not the loss, it's the stagnation. You're just stuck. Men don't do well when we're stuck. We like to know parameters. Okay, shit, I took a loss. Fuck it, this is why NBA players, again, I'm gonna use basketball. I'm a basketball head, like I said, I'm gonna use NBA players. Okay, we got our ass bust by 30 tonight. Let's go look at film. Because we know we lost. We get to adjust. This is why you can see teams get blown out, go back, revamp, look at tape, understand what they lost, understand what the other team had better, come back the next game, and then blow that team out. This is why there's ups and downs to it. Men, we do better when we know, okay, shit, I'm losing. Alright, cool. But I can get better. Or shit, I won. The work that I was doing paid off. But just staying here, a lot of players lose their goddamn mind watching in the NBA. Some of them that just can't get over that hump. You'll see them the next season, just deflated. And don't end up with a ring. But they say, fuck it, at least let me bargain for the best contract I can get, and that's where they stay in. Now it ends up being a good life, using the NBA analogy, because of course they're millionaires. But the average day-to-day guy, he really doesn't do well with that, because it's just here. We like consistency, but stagnation is a total different thing. If you can't move up or down, you're just there, you're just stuck. A lot of dudes lose their mind. I know I move like that. I know a lot of other brothers that I know. That's why I'm coming up with this from. Again, my lived experience and having conversations with a lot of men. That's why they get stuck in the routines. Because guess what? If nothing's going to change, it's not going to hurt that I throw this bottle back a little bit more. If nothing's going to change, it's not going to hurt that I can smoke a little bit more. If nothing's going to change, because it's not going to hurt anything, it may not help, but it's not going to hurt anything either, because I'm just stuck here. This is my life. I don't want that shit for you. I want you to gamble and gamble big at times. Smart. If you're going to bet the house, learn a way to play with house money. Bet on guarantees. And I know there's something weird to say in gambling, but what I'm saying is do the boring shit, do your research. If you're going to bet on you, then bet on you. Because you're betting on what you did for work. Not because I felt like it. Not because I didn't like doing this shit. Not because I just caught a whim and I wanted to do this shit and my homeboy was on this shit at the time. No. You need to bet on you and the work that you've done. I'm big on work ethic. I say it all the time. I'm big on that shit. Bet on you, then go do that. I mean, do the work, then bet on you. Because you've already proven you can execute. It's not that difficult. We keep making shit difficult. It's not. I can't stand that, especially in the black community. A lot of this shit is so simple. I keep telling y'all that story. J. Cooper in here, I appreciate it. I'm listening. J. Cooper, okay, did I break up? I'm not sure. I'm on the road, y'all. I'm driving. I'll share with some of y'all. I'm headed to a funeral today, so I'm trying to get this live out the way a little bit early. Sean says, good morning. I appreciate you, sis. Y'all can make sure y'all engage in the chat and all that. gonna falter. Everybody's gonna fold at some point, but you get to bounce back. You woke up. You get to fight again. And trust me, I done had them days where I said, fuck it, and stayed in the bed and didn't do shit. And guess what? The next day, I had to work extra hard because I squandered a day and I felt like shit. It had to get to the point where every day is a blessing. Now, I know it sounds cliche. Some people don't believe in God. That's fine. But every day, you got breath in your body. You got a chance to live. The funeral that I'm going to today, for those listening, for somebody younger than me. It's my best friend's younger brother. So I just lost a younger brother. I ain't seen him in years, but we know how we rock. Me and my partner know how we rock. So I gotta go put somebody in the ground that's younger than me, that died just like that. Stop taking this shit for granted, y'all. Stop taking this shit for granted. I'm gonna use two things from Kevin Samuels because I'm almost at the family house. I'm gonna take two things from Kevin Samuels. Stop playing with life because life is not gonna play with you. Another quote from what he said, one of my favorite, my favorite quote from Kevin Samuels. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If I have what everybody else has, then I'll have what everybody else is having. I'm going to say that shit again because I want it to stick. If I have what everybody else has, then I'll have what everybody else is having. Stop shorting yourself. You did the work. You put in the effort. You executed. And guess what? Again, when you lost, you should have learned. I don't like to speak in should, but you should have learned. So if you didn't learn, take today and make sure you learn next time when you take a L. Again, I'm almost here, man. I see Mona stopped in too. I appreciate y'all, sis. But I'm going to leave y'all with that Kevin Samuels again because that shit stuck with me like it hit me here. If I have what everybody else has, then I'll have what everybody else is having. Whatever that looks like for your success. So if you're going to be on some hood shit, don't be surprised when you get hood results. If you're going to be on some woe is me shit, don't be surprised when that's your circle of friends and you're getting woe is me results. But if you did that goddamn work, you better make sure heaven and hell move when you say move. Because you did the fucking work. I'm so sick of that shit in the black community, of us making easy shit difficult. And I'm sick and tired of us not respecting work ethic because a guy comes home dirty from a blue collar job versus this nigga that looks like he's flashing jewelry and all that shit. We don't even respect suit and tie in our community a lot of time. You see, they used to call Kevin Samuels gay all the fucking time because of how he dressed and he wore fucking cologne. But we'll respect the rapper with a shitload of jewelry on, blowing goddamn money, and ain't built a goddamn thing with all that fucking money because we like imagery in our community. I think I'm gonna probably be getting in our ass this week on some of my lives. I got a lot of shit to break down. But again, getting ready to pull up at the fam house. I appreciate y'all checking in. I know it was earlier than probably expected, but again, I am a man of my word. Every day in May challenge. For those that don't know, new viewers, please subscribe. New subscribers, thank you. Everybody, hit the like button for the subscribers and the viewers. Everybody that's been particularly rocking with me, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all hit the like button for me and make sure y'all, again, so share it. Share it, have the conversation. Even if you just play it on the phone and hold it up and let somebody say, hey man, this guy was saying this on this part. What do you think? That works for me. Just share it, have the conversation, because I want to start changing some of these mindsets and stuff that we're doing. But as always, you matter. You're not crazy. Make better choices. Peace.